approved the postings of 31 career and 34 non-career ambassadors to various countries and the United Nations. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says it's received agreement from the United Kingdom for the High Commissioner designate Aminu Dalhatu. France has also sent the engagement for Ambassador Ayoke, and President Tinubu has directed that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should immediately commence the induction program for the ambassadors designate and high commissioners. On the list of ambassadors are former chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakub, who was posted to Qatar, Senator Ita Inang to South Africa, Victor Ikpeazu to Spain, and others. Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas to the Philippines, Reno Mokri was posted to Mexico. Former governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ogunwayi, to Greece, Femi Fani-Kayode, will represent Nigeria in Germany. The names of other ambassadors in their countries are as follows. Joining us on the news tonight is career diplomat and former Nigerian ambassador to Ethiopia, Ambassador Olusegun Akinsanya. Ambassador, thank you for joining us on TVC News at 10. Looking at the latest batch of 65 ambassadors, both career and non-career, how well do these postings align with Nigeria's current foreign policy priorities, especially in terms of trade, security, and regional influence, as well as multilateral engagement?
Well, thank you, Nifemi. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a while. Back to your question. You know, Nigerian foreign policy is predicated on the 4 Ds, as has been enunciated: democracy, demography, diaspora, and development. And you're aware that there have been quite a lot of pressures in this administration to appoint an ambassador, ambassadors. They had the diplomatic screening or the senatorial screening in December. And now the postings have been announced. Well, let me say that there are practices, there are best practices and traditions. And I'm sure that the foreign ministry must have taken all this into account. There is the screening at home, there is the demand for agreement, and, and also that there has to be simultaneous announcements in both capitals. So I want to believe that all these things, all these practices were taken into account. But what is important now is that a foreign policy predicated on these bodies, and of course the larger picture of national interest. So back to your question, I want to believe, because the appointment of ambassadors is the choice of the president. And I'm sure that in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the State House, and all that are involved, a lot of efforts must have been done to align the appointments into the major tenets of our foreign policy.
Talking about those efforts, Ambassador, with you look at the list, you say high-profile political and media figures, especially among the non-career appointments. What challenges and opportunities do this create for our diplomatic missions, especially in maintaining professionalism and, of course, advancing complex negotiations abroad?
Well, let me say that as a career diplomat, as a former Nigerian ambassador, as somebody who cut my teeth in the foreign ministry, I have a responsibility to defend my professional interests. At the moment, well, what we have in terms of statistics is 34 non-career and 31 career. That is a bit screwed because you see, if you look at most of the plum posts were assigned to non-careers. Well, the career ambassadors, they are in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They have gone through all the ridicules of diplomacy, both in theory and practice. And what we'll have expected that this assignment will be geared towards, more to be skewed towards the career ambassador, but that is not what it is. That is what we are suffering now as career people, both retired and non-retired. You see, all these people, well, the choice, as I said, the choice of choosing an ambassador is the choice of the president, and they must have taken all this into account in the various posts. But it's skewed. The plum posts were given to non-career. And when we are talking about the pursuit of a foreign policy with all that is happening, the security questions, trade, and so on, the fact that they are not putting the career people to get most of those ideas is a bit skewed.
Does this position, Ambassador,
there's a larger picture. There's a larger picture of
yes,
what is happening to career and non-career ambassador professor. We are change.
Indeed.
And I think it's a bit.
Just allow me to jump in for a minute, Ambassador. I'm wondering if this reflects the concerns of career ambassadors, and if at any point you've had the privilege to bring it up with the executive as a concern to get more career ambassadors fill this post.
No, precisely what I've been saying. See, what people don't realize is that, and I always say this, that is the technology of diplomacy. That's what the French call the savoir-faire, or the fait savoir. That is, these are people who are judged all their lives. I mean, in their foreign ministry, they have been exposed to the various elements of foreign policy, both in practice, and you have a lot of people that have media exposures. Well, putting the square pegs in square holes is right, but I hope that the people that have been posted that are exposed will learn. But it is not easy to learn on this thing because the expectations will be very high. You go to a post, the expectation from the receiving state is very high.
All right.
Will these people be able to cope? Have they put the right people in the right perspective? But this is not what is, this is not the experience of career ambassadors.
All right.
Who know the crucibles of diplomacy.
Well, I guess
that the moment they come into post, they are already taken off. I hope the induction program will take care of the training that is required
exactly
to bring this non-career people up to date.
We are running out of time. Let's talk about the induction for a minute, because the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is commencing induction for all of them. From your experience, what are the critical elements of such training that ensure that both career and non-career diplomats can effectively represent Nigeria's interest on the global stage? In a minute, if you can.
Well, the induction course is very important, both in terms of the theory and practice and day-to-day experience of diplomats, either in the bilateral posts or in the multilateral posts. This induction course is very important. But of course, it depends on who the foreign ministry should organize it. And they should also call in the career ambassadors, the old ambassadors who are experienced to be able to pass that knowledge. But it is one thing to pass the knowledge, it's the other thing to accept. Some of them might think that, it's an easy thing that, I'm going on postings and whatever I go to learn. But that is not the issue. modern diplomacy requires a lot of skills, and even in terms of exposure, how you present yourself, how you represent your country.
Okay.
So that induction course is very important, and you must involve the ACAN, the Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, where you have a lot of experienced and seasoned diplomats that can impact that knowledge.
All right. Good place to leave it. Career diplomat, former Nigerian ambassador to the Federal Republic of Ethiopia with concurrent accreditation to Djibouti, was also permanent representative to the African Union and United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Ambassador Olusegun Akinsanya. Thank you for talking to us on TVC News at 10.
Right. Yeah, thank you very much, Tifemi. Thank you.